A lady member of Fifth Pillar in Annanagar, Chennai, she called our office and said, "You patronize the RTI Act so much." And my brother in the USA called me and said, because her brother in the USA is a friend of mine, so he has told his sister to use RTI for the ration cards that she did not get for 6 years. So this lady has filed RTI and still not gotten the ration card. And she called our office. I was the one who picked up the phone and I recognized her when she said her brother's name. And I asked her, what questions did you ask in the RTI petition? She said she narrated her woes, her challenging experiences with the department for 6 years. She has told them all in 2 pages. And at the end of the 2 pages, she has asked only one question. She asked, when did I get my ration card? And I asked her, did you get an answer? She said, yeah, I got an answer. I asked her, in how many days did you get an answer? She said, in 25 days, less than 25 days, I got the answer. Because that is the rule in the RTI petition. They have to provide you an answer for the question you have asked before 30 days of time. Otherwise, you will be fined. The PIO will be fined. So she got an answer for the question she asked. When did I get my ration card? She got an answer. I asked her, what answer did you get? She said, the answer is, you will get it very soon. So this very soon does not give her the solution. It can be 1 day, 10 days, 1 year, 10 years, right? So we gave her 4 questions on the phone. What is the name of the Taluk Supply Officer who is responsible to issue ration cards in the jurisdiction that my home address is in? In the last 365 days, how many days has this Taluk Supply Officer taken leave of absence? In the last 365 days, how many applications has he received for ration cards? On what date? On what date will I get my ration card? And they gave her an answer, and before the date that was mentioned in the answer, she got the ration card. The Saidapet Taluk Supply Officer has called me one time in 2008 and asking me for, sir, the member Ashok Kumar our address, sir. Address? Ashok Kumar, 5th pillar member, our ration card office address apply our ration card ready sir. Delivery door delivery for a ration card. Have you heard about it in India? It's not pizza, it is not a sandwich. Ration card, government department, Taluk Supply Officer of Saidapet calls 5th pillar office and says, sir, door Ashok Kumar ration card ready. You know why? For citation, Cherian to believe. They are more afraid than you and me. They are afraid to keep their jobs. You know why? Without the job, they cannot feed their families. Without the salary. And then only the bribe comes into picture. The bribe is a bonus. The salary is like, if you ask questions, they are afraid. They are pretending not to be afraid because nobody has asked questions. They are happy that dozens and umpteen number of film directors have taken movies showing citizens who have asked questions being slashed in their throats or houses being bulldozed. In real life, it doesn't happen. I'm not one example. I'm not saying this because I'm an office bearer at 5th pillar. I'm talking about common men. Mr. Ramachandran, who stood up and said, I've never paid a bribe in my life. He is a happy man as you and Cherian. He's got everything done. He's not paying bribes and waiting inordinately to get a passport or get a ration card or get a license or get a renewal. He also knows how to get it without paying the bribe. And for his age, why would he fear? The same way, the RTI petition too. Before getting into the RTI petition, I wanted to touch upon another topic about talking about citizens, how they can handle it without fear. A 70-year-old lady, poorly clad. She's not even dressed properly for entering into a government office. She's very poor, doesn't have too many clothes to change, right? She has a granddaughter your age. The girl's parents have died, so she grows up in the grandmother's house. So she has been walking pillar to post between several offices to get a bank loan. The bank manager lies to her, saying that her granddaughter is not eligible for an education loan. This is an interesting topic for you all because every student of India is eligible for a bank loan of 4 lakh rupees. up to 4 lakh rupees without any collateral security. If any of you are finding it difficult to study, buy something, study material or anything related to your education with your parents' money or savings, if you are looking for a loan, go into a bank, ask for a bank loan up to 4 lakh rupees. Just you and your parents should sign. You should show bona fide proof that you are a student of an educational institution that is registered with the government. That is it. One of your parents and the student, you sign, you are eligible for a 4 lakh loan. Between 4 lakh to 7.5 lakhs, a student, one parent and a third party guarantor should sign. Even then, you don't need collateral security. A third party individual guarantor should sign. If the student or his parent does not repay the loan, I will repay the loan. That's the third party guarantee. Between 7.5 lakhs and up to 10 lakhs, you have to produce up to 20 lakhs, you have to produce a collateral security. A land document or a building or a property document. That is for up to 10 lakhs for education within India, up to 20 lakhs for education outside India. If you are pursuing education in a foreign country, as a student in India, you are eligible for 20 lakhs loan. This old lady walks into the bank in Tambaram and the bank manager lies to her, saying that for education loan, you have to provide a collateral security. She asked only for 2 lakhs or something. He said, you need to submit a collateral security. Then she goes back and finds out the document for her land that her husband owned. The husband has died since. So she takes the document and goes to the bank. The bank manager says, this is not in your name. It is in your husband's name. You need to get a patta, land title. Then she goes to the Tambaram Tahsildar's office. And the Tambaram Tahsildar says 7,000 rupees. Whereas the patta's actual survey measuring fee and the government daily fee, the challan and everything will probably be under 1,000 rupees total. It depends on the proportionate size of the land, so it is not a fixed fee. But this Tahsildar says 7,000 rupees, nothing below 7,000 rupees will get you a patta. So she's been going back and forth, begging, pleading, trying to reduce, get a discount, negotiate and all that for 1.5 years, meaning which the granddaughter did not get education for 2 years. She stays home. Then one day she learns about the 0 rupee note. And she calls with half-heartedness, she calls and says, the Dinamudar paper note போட்டிருக்கீங்க அந்த note எனக்கு எப்படி கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா. Then we said, you can come to our office, and she said, எனக்கு அங்கெல்லாம் வர முடியாது, நான் தாம்பரத்தில் இருக்கேன், கோடம்பாக்கம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப தூரம், எனக்கு அங்கெல்லாம் வர தெரியாது சிட்டிக்குள்ள. Then we sent to volunteers. She said, நீங்களே வந்து எனக்கு தாசில்தார் எனக்கு பட்டா வாங்கி கொடுங்க. We said, we won't do that. On the other hand, you do it. Our volunteers will stay at a distance from you and we will help you if there is a problem. She was afraid the same way that you were afraid, saying that இதை கொடுத்தா கிழிச்சு போட்டு என்ன அடிச்சிட்டாங்கன்னா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா. Very justifiable. I am not saying suddenly India has changed and we all need to act like all the heroes in the movies. We cannot do that. But then we have to make our first move, first step. And she was afraid, the same way we were discussing. So she said, கிழிச்சு போட்டு அடிச்சிட்டா என்ன பண்றது? அப்படிலாம் பண்ண மாட்டாங்கம்மா. நீங்க அவ்வளவு பயப்படுறீங்கன்னா எங்க வாலண்டியர்ஸ் 2 பேர் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 20-30 அடி பின்னாடி இருப்பாங்க. அது மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஆச்சுன்னா அவங்க ஹெல்ப்புக்கு வருவாங்கன்னு சொல்லி. Our volunteers wore 2 t-shirts. Today's t-shirt is white. In those days it used to be black and it used to have a more so-called powerful slogan. We used to call ourselves an eruption against corruption. This was in 2007. We don't use such words now. Those days it was like initial spontaneity. Somebody said we have to have a strong, powerful slogan, so we said eruption against corruption. There was a black t-shirt with a yellow slogan on it, and then we went there. 2 volunteers went there. The lady approached, and the moment she handed out the 0 rupee note, the Tahsildar literally rose from the chair. He was sitting in a chair like this. He was reading it and he stood up from his chair and he immediately called his assistant and said, "Namakku chair poduva." He made her sit. He made her wait for a few minutes, and within that time he offered her tea. She was drinking tea sitting there in the same office where she was humiliated for more than a year and a half. And she got her patta. She got her patta in like less than 1 hour. And then she went to the bank manager, gave the same 0 rupee note. Then our volunteers told her education loan security na thevilla. I think it was in 2008 or 2009, I don't remember the exact date. Education loan security na thevilla. நீங்க உள்ள போயிட்டு இந்த மாதிரி இந்த 0 ரூபாய் நோட் கொடுங்க, இந்த ஆர்கனைசேஷன் மெம்பர்னு சொல்லுங்க, உங்களுக்கு வந்து லோன் கொடுக்குறது எங்களை கூப்பிடுங்க. She called later, She was in tears on the phone. She said, in the நாட்டில் நான் 70 வருஷத்துக்கு மேலே, she is more than 70-year-old at that time. இந்த நாட்டில் 70 வருஷத்துக்கு மேலே வாழ்ந்திருக்கேன், என்ன நாய் மாதிரி தான் நடத்திருக்காங்க கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃபீஸில், இன்னைக்கு என்ன ராணி மாதிரி நடத்துனாங்க. What else? If the few of us who are there for the last 7 years, we do it, it will take another 100 years. In that 100 years, the bad people, like he said from the quote from our website, the bad people always work overtime. The bad people don't sleep. The bad people don't sleep, they work overtime. And the good thing about the bad people is they network. They are unified all the time. Because they're all shareholders in the crime that they do. So every wrong person, they can be on opposite sides in a particular problem, but when it comes to making profit, they are all shareholders. And the problem is the good people, the most of us in this hall, you're all good people. You have not committed a crime, you have not spoiled another person's life. But we are talking about the bad people who are conniving, who are conspiring against society, against the common man. So let us join together in whatever way you want to do. You don't have to be physically in the office. You can do e-volunteering, you can do social networking volunteering, you can do field volunteering, you can go to colleges, schools, talk like what we do now. And the most important thing that we would urge you to do is, all of you have come out from some school. So try to reach out to your schools, talk to your headmasters, principals, teachers that you are in touch with. Urge them to have a fifth pillar. This program is otherwise called Freedom from Corruption. This is the campaign title. It's called Freedom from Corruption. And since this is a management institute, Ajit wanted us to focus more on the Right to Information Act. So we didn't put the Freedom from Corruption slide on the thing. But otherwise, when we go to schools, it's called Freedom from Corruption. And we won't talk high-level RTI stuff with the school kids. We will talk about basic things like, if you go into town bus, do you get change? So people going in government buses to government schools, if they pay 10 rupee and get a 4 rupee ticket, they don't get 6 rupees back. They only get 5 rupees, or sometimes they get 4 rupees, two rupee coins, and that's it. And you can imagine these people are from middle class, lower middle class, and below poverty line. Some of them have bus passes, so the problem doesn't arise. If they go to a ration card, they can't buy rice. They'll say today only kerosene. For rice, come after 2 weeks. Imagine the plight. First of all, they are middle class, lower middle class, and below poverty line. They cannot afford to pay the 60 rupee per kg rice in the supermarket. So this is the only way. How can they live without rice for 2 weeks? So they are forced to buy 1 kg where they can buy 3 kgs or 4 kgs in a ration card. So by paying bribes, we are not only slipping from our duty, but we are also making life miserable for less fortunate fellow countrymen. So that is where the Right to Information Act comes into picture. Not only for our own personal problems like passport, ration card, and income tax returns, but you can solve your village's problem, your town's problem, your district's problem, your city's problem. If you find that a bridge is not completed for 3 years, there is a take diversion board for 3 years, and all citizens blindly take diversion and go through potholed temporary roads for 3 years, you have the right to use a Right to Information petition and ask, why is it so? What is the name of the contractor? Has the contractor been paid in full? Has the contractor been paid partially? What are the payments made? What is the project plan? What is the period of the project? Why is it not completed? What is the name of the highways engineer that is responsible for completing this project? And here, there is the danger that you may be targeted, right? Because these are the people that we talk about, the mafia. Then, at fifth pillar, we have a new model called satellite RTI. You don't get killed because you are not putting the RTI. Another fifth pillar student volunteer in IIT Guwahati or Kharagpur or Delhi College of Commerce will file RTI on your behalf from Delhi or Guwahati or Ahmedabad. Whereas the problem will be about the PWD department's engineer and the local contractor who has a mafia and paid hitmen with him. He is not going to take his sumo van all the way to Guwahati and hit that college student. And the college student is not going to be there in the college after 4 years. So we are removing the danger 3,000 kilometers away from Chennai or Coimbatore or Tirunelveli or Nagarjuna.